Welcome back everyone to our gameplay series of Pure Farming 2018. So our last video was a bit of an adventure. I had no idea we were going to get that much money and have that much volume of oranges, but we came out of there with quite a bit of money. I mean, they are not quite as effective as cherries in earning money. I wouldn't say, especially in the time that you devote to it, but wow. I mean, we got our money back easily on the very first harvest from that field. So it's hard to beat that. Anytime you can get that, that is definitely money well spent. So after we recorded, I went ahead and I took care of making sure we had plenty of water, and I went ahead and sprayed the orange orchard because today's video, I wanted to be all about grapes and olives. So if you're not familiar, let's go ahead and take a look in our vehicle store. Under combines, there is a special, actually a couple of special pieces of equipment that we can use on this map for grapes and olives. So we'll go into the combines and we'll get past the normal stuff that we, particularly here in America, in my part of the country, in the South, are familiar with. You see these sorts of combines all the time. And in fact, whenever I think of a combine or a harvester, this is what I think of. But if we go down past those, and we get down past the different headers, of course, we've already seen the rice harvester, but then we get down to a couple of others. Now, this is actually for coffee. We're not ready for that. We're not at that particular map right now. But there are a couple of pieces. If we get down toward the bottom, there is a basic entry level, and you can see it's only $36,000, but it requires a tractor to pull it. Now, granted, we have a tractor that we could use to pull it, but if we click on the information, you can see that this machine is designed specifically for grape and olive harvesting. That's good for us because that means that we can have one machine and harvest the grapes and the olives that are found on this map. That is awesome. It says it's much smaller and needs a tractor in order to be towed, but it's pretty cheap. And of course, this is a price that would be even cheaper if we go over to the market and actually pick it up in person. But here's the model that we're interested in. Okay, we've got $198, almost $199,000, and this is the model. The self-propelled model is the one we want. And if we come in, we can see that it's got a capacity of about 8,800 pounds. Now that's going to be important because that will tell us how many times we're going to have to empty it. But of course, that's going to be determined by the volume of the harvest we get, and of course, the size of the harvest we get from the particular field. So I was looking around on the map, and of course, there are lots of these fields. I mean, you can see the grapes and olives are scattered around all over this map. And as we talked about before, it is entirely possible that you could spend all of your playthrough and just do all of your playing time on this map. I mean, there's that much to do here. But for our purposes, I think it makes the most sense to us to focus on this particular olive grove, which is number 8, and it is $22,000. So let's go ahead and start out at the very beginning here. Let's walk right over here. Of course, it's right next to our orange orchard, so why not? This is the one I think would make the most sense for us. So let's press B, and we are going to purchase that one. And we can see it's got a water level, spraying level, and water storage. So this is exactly what we have come to expect. So all of that is perfectly normal. So we need to get to work, and let's see how much water it needs first and foremost. So there's water in a few different places. Actually, there's some right over here, and then there's some right over to the other side, just over the side of that hill. There's some water there as well. So let's see how much water we need. So $176,000 is going to be plenty in order for us to purchase the equipment. Of course, we don't need that equipment. We don't need the combine just yet for it. It's still going to be a few days before these are ready for our first harvest, but hey, I'm ready to purchase some stuff. That's part of the enjoyment. We make money on this game just so that we can purchase more stuff. What's the fun in keeping it in your bank account? Now, in real life, it's very much the opposite, but for the purposes of our gameplay, I mean, who wants to keep a lot of money in your bank account when you can go and spend it to buy more equipment, more fields, more everything? So that's exactly what we're going to do. Yeah, I keep waiting to log in and see that issue we had with the harvesting box taken care of, where it's now empty. It has not been taken care of. It is still very much full, but not full with oranges. All right, let's go ahead and unload here. And okay, so that's it. Now, unfortunately here, you can see that our water is a little bit too far away from our olive grove, so I don't get the pop-up to tell me what percentage of water we have in storage. Luckily, we know it's 100% because I still have a little bit of water left here in the tank. Okay, so we've seen before where we've actually needed to fill up the water tank twice in order to get the water level to 100%. So that part is taken care of. Now it is time to spray. And again, luckily everything we have is right here in the area, so we don't have to go very far. Let's go ahead and set up our cruise control. Save my middle finger a little bit of time and effort having to hold down the W key the whole time. And I learned something as I was preparing, and I'm not sure how long this has been going on or when exactly it happened, but as I was preparing for today's episode, I was actually doing some of the behind the scenes work, you know, doing some spraying of the orchards or refilling of the water tanks, that kind of thing. I noticed that my desk chair here is leaning horribly to the left. I'm not even sure when that happened. So my guess is it's been that way a while. I guess I should ask one of the kids how long it's been that way, because they've been using it here recently to play Minecraft. But yeah, I'm not sure when that happened. And I'm starting to wonder, do I just lean horribly to the left all the time? Is that what's causing it, or what? So not sure what's happening right now, but I believe it's going to be about time to invest in a new chair. I would love to have one of those, what I call gaming chairs, or the streamer chairs that you see everybody using when they stream. Those look pretty comfortable. The racing seat type design. It would be nice to have something with quite a bit of padding, so that may be a future purchase, but not right now, because those things cost money, and just not in the mood to spend any money right now. But we'll see. It looks like necessity may require that I get to that a little bit sooner than I would like to. May have to catch one of those Amazon sales. All right, this is actually going very quickly compared to, I guess I've gotten used at this point to spraying the oranges, and those orchards are just monstrous compared to these. So we spent $22,000 here, and our goal, which of course won't happen in this video, but it'll be a video or two down the line, will be that if things hold serve with the way they've been going, then what we will have is at least $22,000 worth of money from our first harvest and each harvest after that. All right, let's go ahead and hop out here. Now, we could drive all the way down to purchase our new piece of equipment, but what's the fun in that? Let's go ahead and teleport. I think we got enough driving in our last video. But before we get there, now, so we've got our new orchard, and we've got everything is full. Now, of course, the water level will take care of itself over a period of time. The sprinklers will come on and take care of that. But we've already sprayed, and we've got plenty of water in there. So the next question is, just like we dealt with the orchards, where are we going to sell these things? Well, we know over here there is a place to sell, but that's for grapes. All right, so where do we sell the olives? And the good news is it's right here. So literally right next door to where we are, we'll be able to sell the olives. That is awesome. That's going to save us quite a bit of time. But for now, let's go ahead and teleport over. Okay, back over to the shop, to our stern-looking gentleman. Again, he should be happier. I'm spending some money, some pretty serious money here, and by the looks of the map, nobody else is spending any money with him, so he should be happy to have our business. Okay, so again, we got two options here. 110,000. Yes, please. Now, granted, we don't need this thing just yet, but I just wanted to see what it was like. Why do we have exhaust already coming out? We haven't even turned this thing on yet. must be from where the guy brought it around. That's bigger than I thought it was going to be. I'm not sure how big I thought it was going to be, but this is pretty good size. All right, let's look inside here. Now I have a little bit, just a very little bit of familiarity with harvesting grapes for a winery. I've actually done that process, and this is definitely not how we did it. We actually did it the old, what I'll call the old school way of simply having clippers, and we manually cut the grapes off of the vines. So this is a very, very different way of doing it, but interesting. It looks like, so we're going to drive over the tops of the trees. Wow. Okay. All right, we'll see how it goes. But for now, I just kind of want to drive this thing. Let's play around a little bit. Ooh, I don't like, okay. I was going to say, I do not like the camera angle, but now that we've gotten away from the building, it looks like we're in better shape here. All right, this is, yeah, this is very odd. It drives kind of odd, too. All right, hopefully we're going in the same direction as all of the traffic. That way we don't have to worry about getting run off the road. All right, let's see how this bad boy looks from inside the cabin. Okay, look around the cabin. We're going pretty good. 17, 18 miles an hour. I'll take it. And lots of buttons in here. Too bad we can't use any of them. But for our purposes, let's face it, I would probably mess it up if I had access to all those buttons. And a joystick to use. Okay. All right. Woo. Up and down all these hills is going to make me sick. It's going to have me seasick. All right, why do I feel like we're constantly pulling hard right? Having a hard time keeping this thing going straight. Okay, so here we are. Here is our particular... So let's just drive. Let's pull up. I just want to see what this thing looks like. All right, so we're going to pull... What, am I going to straddle these trees? Is that what we're going to do? Let's pull around here. Just, again, I have no idea how this works in real life, so this is a new one for me. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. Okay, I'm guessing that's what we're going to do. This is going to be a lot of fun when we actually get to do this for real. All right, so let's just go ahead. I mean, it looks like for the most part, the trees are just the perfect height to fit in through there, and I'm guessing with, yeah, here we go. Let's try to get through with the series of tubes and who knows what all is in there are going to actually pull the olives off of these trees. So, okay, yeah. We're just going to drive over the top of these things, it looks like. Nice. All right, so one thing I do not see. I do not see any way to empty out into a trailer. Am I missing something? I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff going on this thing that I have no idea about, but I do not see any way to empty into a trailer. So it may be that with this particular device, we're going to have to drive over and sell these each time. Now, as we saw on the map, and right over there is where we would sell these. So it's not that big a deal for this particular field, but it's just interesting that, and who knows, I could be completely wrong about this, and probably am. That wouldn't be anything new. But, yeah, I'm not seeing any way to actually get the olives out and into a trailer. Interesting. In fact, very interesting. All right. So this thing's, okay, it's pretty fun. I could see us purchasing, if we decide to stay here, you know, and really build out on this map and purchase a lot of these fields. Again, just depending on how much money we get out of them. Maybe that's something we want to do in the future once we settle down and decide on maybe using this map more of a long-term solution. Yeah, that kind of looks like a horror show in there. Who knows? Maybe we'll decide that we want to get into grapes and olives in a much deeper meaning. Wow, that's kind of ominous looking behind you there. The stuff of horror films with the two eyeballs on there. Yeah, we're going to have to move out of the way. That's not something I want to see in my dreams. That's going to do it for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned as we continue our gameplay series of Pure Farming 2018.